There is a smell in here that will outlast religion.
G'day Tena Kodo, welcome back to the Kiwozzie channel. Today I'm going to be making another attempt not only starting a video but finishing it. Some of these tweets are going to seem familiar as they have been featured in Fret's video and probably in Alex's as well. But I'm not those two, so let's get into some pony booty spanking. First is this person from a local gaming Facebook page.
I've in the past 24 hours seen people try to call Sony greedy and king of microtransactions, much like Ubisoft. In the same sentence they have praised Elden Ring and from Software, who work closely with Sony by the way, and say Microsoft would never stoop that low. Isn't the new Halo listed with cosmetics behind a paywall? That's how Microsoft will let first-party titles for free on Game Pass because they will have a large amount of content locked behind more money. Sony are being upfront and honest. Microsoft is thus withholding the truth and people will buy what they are selling without question.
So let's unpack this here, shall we? This is in relation to GT7 or Gran Turismo 7 and the microtransactions that are in it. Basically, this isn't really comparable to Halo multiplayer and its microtransactions, as the difference is the grind was increased to put pressure on the players to buy the cars they want. The microtransaction of GT7 were not included or mentioned to the reviewers with the review copies they were sent. Sony deliberately lied via omission, and the cars impact online gameplay, making this also pretty much pay to win. This compared to cosmetic only microtransaction of Halo is not even close. Cosmetics do not impact gameplay, therefore aren't even needed. Sure, they help the game, but you aren't forced to have them to play it. Also, Halo multiplayer is free to play with or without Game Pass, where GT7 is a $100 Australian PlayStation 5 game with pay-to-win mechanics, making it right up there with Ubisoft levels of bullshittery. Microsoft, as far as I'm aware, haven't withheld anything, unlike, as I mentioned, the microtransactions of Gran Turismo 7 from reviewers. Next is On Shits from Twitter.
Hey, Game Pass just got hit hard. I didn't see any day ones listed, but 400 PS4 to PS5, then 340 of most likely the most popular PlayStation Classic? Big list and a lot of nostalgia. This is a huge hit for Xbox you guys don't even realise.
Game Pass hasn't been hit. The lack of day one is a big hit for Sony. 400 PlayStation 4 to PlayStation 5 games puts it on par with the 500 Game Pass games, or 1200 if you include all versions, but we will stick with the 500, which includes, by the way, 137 EA Play titles. But then paying for the 134 classics, that should be completely backwards compatible with the PS5 for free by inserting disc to play or download for the PSP, like the Xbox Series X does via RetroArch or the various emulators on PC. It is a little bit of a rude middle finger, which, by the way, Nintendo do also, and can get fucked for doing too. Sure, if you pay for annual to get it cheaper, it's great and all, but the value is still squarely in Microsoft's court here. Also, let's not forget, included in the Game Pass price is that EA Play component of about $5 a month. Next up to the plate for a booty slap is Steely44, and I have two tweets from them.
Unrivaled? Game Pass Ultimate has around 200 to 250 games on it at any one time, always chopping and changing. With rich games they take off and replace them with every month. PlayStation Plus new system will have 700 plus games when it launches, with more being added, but nah, GPU is unrivaled.
Again, it's 500 titles. The chopping and changing is normal. Have you not been paying attention to how most video streaming platforms work? Unless it is their game, third-party games are only going to be licensed for a short period. You can then buy it, or not, afterwards. As for it being unrivaled, no, it isn't. It has its rivals. Most of them simply just do not compete on the level they need to.
Over 3/4 of the games are dead, old or disliked, putting them on a subscription service that only a third of the gamer's player base has access to isn't going to instantly make the service or the player base better. Nothing really to brag about.
Hate to break it to you, but while I am no longer a Call of Duty fan since they went annual release, it still has a large player base, and you're forgetting that Game Pass is on 2 platforms, not 1. So it is basically going onto a subscription service that 2/3 of the player base has access to. I would even hazard a guess that there is not an insignificant overlap of PlayStation owners that have PCs capable of running Call of Duty games, so let's make that more like 3/4 of the player base. Now for height. This one Frick covered in that great salt mining way of his, but I thought I would take a run at it.
PlayStation Plus Premium versus Game Pass. No, day one. $120, $180, 700 plus games, 400 plus games. Store discount, no store discount. Game demos, no game demos. Spider-Man, no Spider-Man. PS Plus is clear.
First up, day one is a win on Game Pass hands down. Like, come on. Day one games on Game Pass, before you even decide whether or not you want to go and buy the game, is great. Like, it's to me, is brilliant. Next, $120 a year versus $180 a year. That extra $60 I would say is coming from the EA Play side of things. EA gotta get that green, you all. 700 versus 400. As I pointed out, it's 500, and 340 of those 700 are classic games, with some of those being PlayStation 3 streaming only titles. And considering how long PlayStation Now has been going on, still no servers available in Australia, so anywhere that doesn't have PlayStation Now, tough shit. You do get a discount again, but still, that is pretty shit. As for streaming on PC, Game Pass has it pretty much everywhere, and it is pretty solid. I have played a couple of old Xbox and Xbox 360 games, and I found them to look and run well. Game demos? Like, really? That shouldn't even be a thing to pay for. And I guess you could say Game Pass has that as well with game previews. And as for Spider-Man, who fucking cares? Anyway, I have been the Kiwozzie. See you around like a rissole. And if you don't hear from me in the future, I got caught breaking Fred out of prison. Enohora.